Hey guys, welcome to another Battle Prime video, and today we got an all-new Battle Prime balance. August 20th, 2021, we're seeing an update to the Primes and the overall abilities and some of their effects that they do in damage. Some got a little bit of a buff, some a little bit of a nerf, but we're going to run through each of these, and again, just have a little bit of gameplay in the background. Let me know what you think of this in the comments down below. We are using some of the Primes since they received an update, but again, we're going to pop up and actually take a look at the different notes that took place here with the update. Now, we're going to talk about a couple of the just general balances. So we do have an overall balance is what we're going for these Primes. And again, if you want to also offer some feedback to the devs, you can always join their BP Discord server. Link to that is in the comments down below in that description area. So with that, let's look at some of the common changes that took place. All Primes are receiving a change in their passive charging time, except for Vision. They're increasing from 24 to 25 seconds for almost all the heroes. Vision's going to stay at 24. Some of them went slightly higher, some slightly lower, so we'll also take a look at that in a second. There's primarily just two exceptions to that rule. One of them is going to be Isotope. So Isotope's passive charging time has been increased from 24 to 30 seconds, specifically to target the spamming of that ability from campers. Pretty cool to see them address that, and I think that's actually a really good move. The other exception to this rule is going to be Shock. So Shock's going to get a slight change to his passive charging the ability, and he's getting a reduction from 16 seconds down to 12.5 seconds. And hope is to actually make Shock's overall ability a little bit more effective in battle. And that's not the only change coming to his ability, which I think is pretty nice. You're going to see some damage talks later. Vityaz also got a change to his Arctic Shield. We're seeing the damage from bullets and grenades reduce from 60 to 50% protection, but his duration of the ability is now increasing from 8 to 10 seconds. Overall goal of these changes is to slightly weaken that Arctic Shield. So reducing it by an extra 10%, hopefully makes him a little bit more vulnerable in battle, not just a massive tank. We also see that receiving that less damage, even including things like the nuclear reactor, he's not going to be completely invincible, practically. Glitch also getting some changes. Now, Glitch is going back to her original state. When Glitch first came out, she did 50% damage with her clone, and it's going right back to that. So she was doing 100% damage. It's been reduced back to 50%. Honestly, she's the way she was. I prefer it this way, which I think is pretty nice. Now, there's some more Primes that are going to be getting some changes to this, but, you know, I think so far we're off to a pretty good start with these balances, if I say so myself. Now, the next Prime that's going to be getting a bit of a change is Isotope. Isotope's nuclear reactor is going to get a reduction in damage from 2,000 down to 1,700. Also going to decrease the epicenter, so that way the minimum damage done at the edges of the affected area is going to be 850, but we are seeing an increase from 7.5 to 8 meters, so a slightly bigger nuke area, but less damage being done. Isotope can no longer kill another player with full HP. Not happening. So that's going to be pretty nice that you'll have an opportunity to withstand that a bit and make Isotope really, as they kind of said, less spammy. We all know if you've been playing the game lately, Isotope kind of got pretty bad. Going through walls, killing you. Now, still doing the damage through walls, but the nice part is having a little bit more of that distance between you and Isotope means you're also going to take less damage. Might be able to walk away, might be able to counter it on Isotope and turn things around. So looking at that, you know, I think we're off to a good start with so far exactly what the devs have addressed. And we're going to go ahead and finish this match out before we move on to the next set of changes that have come to some of these Primes. I definitely want to remind you guys here that as you're hearing these, seeing these, let me know in the comments down below, what do you think? Or do you agree with these changes so far from Vityaz, Glitch, Isotope? Again, we're going to be talking about some of the other Primes here as we go through the second round of the CQC TDM here. I'm going to switch it up, and I'm going to play Shock. I had the MK16 on blast for anyone that was curious. I'm currently going to run the F2M with the KGS shotgun here on Shock and just kind of have a little bit of fun. Wanted to test these two ones out because they seem to kind of get the biggest buff. Not just the weapons, but I'm talking the Primes. But again, just let me know what your thoughts are so far in the comments of these changes. And we're going to talk Blast is going to be coming up next here. Blast did get some changes, and that cluster grenade is going to be getting some updates to it. I think Blast is going to be one that a lot of people are going to start running once they get a chance to kind of really get a feel for him, maybe bringing him out on the battlefield. Maybe they didn't play with him before. And I know I definitely am looking forward to running Shock quite a bit more. He's one that I kind of put off to the side for a bit. But with that, let's go ahead and talk about some of those changes coming to Blast. So the radius of the cluster explosion is being increased from 2.5 to 5 meters, double the explosion increase radius. We're also seeing the max damage from a single cluster is being reduced from just over 1,000 down to just over 700. The biggest idea behind this is to just increase the overall effectiveness of the cluster grenade. Kind of felt like a dud sometimes, but now you're definitely going to see more of an impact, and more players will actually feel that explosion epicenter. They didn't always affect players. Sometimes they were actually a dud, but that has been addressed and fixed. So, you know, Blast is going to be a good one. QB's getting some changes too. The touchdown system, the recoil while the ability is active is being reduced by 25%, but the accuracy while the ability is active is getting increased from 60 to 70%. And this is going to just help players have a little bit more comfort while shooting and using QB. They've also made another adjustment to QB as far as incoming damage. QB was receiving more damage from cluster grenades and nuclear reactor than he should have. That's been tweaked, so you might notice a little bit of a difference as far as how those explosives affect QB if you're running him. Now, of course, the prime we're running right now is Shock, and Shock has the last set of changes that's going to be coming his way. But of course, I also want to take an opportunity to just remind you, if you're enjoying the content so far, hit that like button, hit the subscribe so that way you don't miss out on any future videos, and you can also keep up with me when I go live, so that way we can talk BP together on my live streams. With that being said, let's go ahead and talk about Shock's changes to his tactical grenade. So Shock is seeing the max damage from the explosion. The flash grenade actually does explode, going from 16 damage up to 160. That's awesome. The radius is now increased from 10 to 12.5. And the duration, though, is being reduced. So it used to last 6 seconds. I always felt that was a touch long. It's now going down to a 4-second effect. I think that this is going to make Shock a lot more usable in battle, especially since you're now doing quite a bit more, 10 times more damage with the grenade. It's not necessarily going to maybe kill someone, but hey, if you get that out there, that extra 160 might just finish someone off that you needed to. And again, I do like the fact that that radius is a bit bigger. Now, don't forget, a lot of these here can even be expanded on more with the different perks you attach to your prime. So go in there, check out those different perks to help you maybe increase effectiveness, range, radius, damage, things like that. There's a lot that you can do. Playing with the perks is going to be another piece to this puzzle of getting the right balance for these prime effects. I think this is going to be a really good balance. It all looks good on paper. I'm excited to see how it really feels for all the primes. I can tell you, just playing these 2 rounds with Blast and with Shock, I can tell the difference already. And you're definitely going to see me running these 2 along with a few others. And just keep in mind, one more time, Poison, Jumper, Thunder have not been affected at all from any of these changes. They're staying as is. So again, thanks for watching this video, guys. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, and I'll catch you next time.